Welcome back to Rise and Grind, your favorite podcast for raising the collective consciousness of the world's women and, of course, learning all things manifestation, energy, and just feeling freaking good about yourself in your business and in your life. I'm Carly Greiner, your host, and today we're going to dive into how to truly surrender to divine timing. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a type A girly, so surrendering was a very hard lesson for me. So today I'm going to share my tips and tricks, and before we get into that, our tradition stands here on Rise and Grind. If you're new, we always share what we're drinking because hydration is self-care, self-care boosts self-worth, and self-worth equals net worth. So when you drink things, you become wealthy. That's our rule here on this show. Grab a drink. I am personally drinking an emotional support Coke today. You guys know I'm a Coke drinker. I know. Every health girly in the universe is just shaking her head in unison right now, but I don't care. I own it. It is my guilty pleasure. But let's get on into how to actually surrender to divine timing, especially when you feel kind of frustrated that it's not happening. So I've talked before about faith as a concept and how leaning into faith is really, really important. And it is. It totally is. And at the same time, faith is part of the equation. The other part of the equation is surrender. And faith looks like, I know it's going to happen. Faith looks like, I know without a shadow of a doubt that whatever it is I'm manifesting is coming. Like we know that it's coming. Surrender is, I'm cool with not knowing how it comes to me or when it comes to me. And surrender is made better when you have faith because you can say, okay, I know it's coming, so I don't even need to worry about when or how, which is awesome. However, if you are like me and you are either type A, a Virgo, a little bit of a recovering control freak, then surrender might feel like a hell of a challenge to you. And I just need to say first, girl, same. It has been a huge challenge for me in the past. And so today I'm going to share my tips on how I got better at surrender and how I actually got so much more than I wanted and so much better than what I was asking for because of my ability to surrender. Now, I feel like I need to share this because when I was thinking about this episode and the things I was going to say, the thing that came to mind was the movie The Holiday. And if you haven't seen The Holiday, what are you doing? Pause this episode and go watch it immediately. But I'm obsessed with The Holiday. I love that movie. I will watch it year round, even though it's technically a Christmas film. But in that movie, Kate Winslet's character is so smitten with this man that she works with. And she is just absolutely obsessed with this man. And may I just say, it is so clear to the viewer that this man is mid. Like, there is nothing about him that screams like, oh, this man loves her, this man's obsessed with her, he is treating her like gold. Like, none of that. There is zero hinting to that in the film. And yet, she, as the character inside the story, is just so taken with him that she can't even tell that he's mid. She cannot even tell how uninterested he seems. And he kind of like drags her along and kind of teases her and makes her think that he wants her and kind of goes back and forth a million times. And she is just obsessed, so she lets him do it. It's not until after she falls so in love with herself that she realizes, like, Jasper ain't shit. I don't need him. And after that, she falls in love with Jack Black, who literally, I don't think she expected at all. It was such a surprise. And yet they had such a great relationship, great chemistry, like all the things. He was funny, he was caring, like really everything that she wanted Jasper to be so hard, and he just wasn't. And so much of the time we are holding on so tightly to our Jasper when Jack Black is right around the corner and we're just holding on so freaking tight. And we think that we're manifesting like Jasper to propose to us. But really what we want is to feel loved, is to feel cared for, is to be in that fulfilling relationship. And we're trying so hard to force that on Jasper when really we can get everything that we want, and it really honestly gets over delivered by the universe, but we have to surrender first. And a lot of us girlies, okay, again, I'm admitting I've been part of the problem here. A lot of us girlies have trouble with that. We have trouble surrendering. We have trouble imagining that anything outside of our plan, how it happens, when it happens, could possibly work. But surrendering is key here. And let me tell you something. Releasing control actually speeds up manifestations. And this is a wild concept to me because, again, you feel like I need to do this myself. I can do it myself. I know it's the best, blah, blah, blah. But when we release control and we allow ourselves to co-create with God, with the universe, instead of making it our plan only, what happens is everything gets so released. All of the resistance and all of the like iron grip that you've had on things, when that gets let go of, it's like the floodgates open for your manifestations. And the reason why resistance causes these energetic blocks, number one, is because a lot of the time when resistance is happening or something is taking too long, we start to get stressed out. Okay, we start to wonder what the fuck is going on? When is this shit gonna happen? I'm impatient. I'm ready now. We're like stomping our foot, maybe inside, maybe outside, right? Basically throwing like an energetic temper tantrum here, right? And we're like crossing our arms and pissed off. And that raises your cortisol levels. So inside your body, what's happening is you're stressed the fuck out. And your cortisol is going up, which not only is just horrible in general, it's horrible for focus, it's not great for your health, horrible for your nervous system, but beyond that, it causes energetic blocks. And so what do we do about that? What do we do about cortisol levels? Number one, movement is great. When you get energy in motion, fabulous. But beyond that, if you actually want to lower your cortisol levels pretty much manually and under 5 minutes, please start EFT tapping. If you are someone like me who gets a little stressed out, gets a little anxious, you're wondering why things aren't happening sooner, start EFT tapping. And if you don't know where to start, join my membership. There are tons of tutorials, tons of scripts. You can EFT tap your little heart out for money manifestation, for clearing energetic blocks, and pretty much everything in between. And when you lower those cortisol levels, you're no longer in this fight or flight mode. You're not in like freeze mode anymore. You're not stressed the fuck out, which is probably causing you not to sleep. Like you become so much more in flow, which then in turn allows so much more abundance to find you. Ease and surrender are the name of the game here, baby. The next thing that I want to touch on is so much of the time when things are taking too fucking long, we are so hyper focused on the outcome that we are not enjoying the journey at all. And I know that sounds cliche as fuck, okay? But hear me out. We miss so much of the joy of the process when the only thing that we care about is the end game. And beyond that, I don't ever believe that manifestations are an end game of sorts at all. I think everything is cyclical. I think everything is part of our greater journey in this life. But I do think that we have these goals and we have the tendency to hyperfixate on said goal, and the journey just becomes kind of by the wayside, where the journey is actually the magic. The journey is the part that is forging you into the version of yourself that is going to actually be able to enjoy that end game goal. So how can we actually enjoy the process when you high-key want to pull your hair out a little bit and you're wondering why it's taking so long? I would do one of two things. Number one, I would start visualizing and actually seeing yourself as someone who is able to enjoy the journey and someone who is able to surrender. Stop telling yourself over and over and over again that you can't trust the process, that you're stressed out, that you're anxious, that you are controlling things. Like, stop affirming that part of your identity and shift it instead. And some of this also would be a really great thing to journal. Maybe writing down and affirming, like, I am someone who can trust the process. I am someone who is absolutely available for surrendering to the journey, and really affirming those new beliefs and those new things that you identify with. And beyond that, You cannot actually trust the process. You cannot actually say that you trust any piece of it while also trying to be in control. Those things cannot exist at the same time. So knowing that by releasing control, you're actually evolving and expanding your ability to manifest things, because trust is a prerequisite of consistent manifestation. And then one final thing that really helped me was meditating, because again, that lowers your cortisol levels, but it also just brings you into a neutral state. You're not starting your day, or let's say you meditate, any time of day. You're not starting then the rest of your day in this sort of hyperactive, stressed the fuck out, controlling state. You're able to go with the flow. You're like so available for feminine energy and kind of going where the spirit guides you, instead of absolutely ignoring all of those signs, absolutely ignoring divine timing and saying that you know better, which you don't. It is a co-creation process. It's not just you, it's not just the universe. It takes both. It takes an energetic exchange, and that is what makes things so magical. So I'm not going to sit here and insult you and say this is like the easiest thing in the world, because it's not always, but I do believe that the way that you frame it in your mind and the way that you think about it and the way that you think about yourself can make it way, way, way easier. And it is a simple thing. If you have daily practices in place to learn how to surrender, to learn how to trust, you're going to, and your manifestations are going to speed the fuck up as a result. So if you want to learn more about how to do that, you need to join Paid and Powerful. That's my membership. It's open right now. The doors are open until next Thursday, so one more week. I cannot wait to see the queens that join. This membership community is filled with tons of mindset tools, manifestation tips, and all sorts of goodies that drop every single week. You get EFT tapping scripts, you get journaling prompts, you get exclusive podcast episodes, and you get hypnotherapy and meditation recordings from yours truly that are all designed to speed up your manifestations, collapse time, and truly allow you to fall in love with yourself in the process. The link to that will be in the show notes, and it will close, like I said, next Thursday. So this weekend, next week's episodes will both have that link. Hop in while you still can. And as soon as that door closes, we are starting a 21-day challenge to become that girl inside. So you do not want to miss this, and I am so freaking excited. And with that, my queens, I'm going to let you go. I love you. Please surrender and allow things to come to you. Lean into that feminine energy, and I promise things are going to get so magical. I will see you guys next week. Bye.